America's Civil War was more than just a conflict between the North and the South. It was a transformative moment in U.S. history that continues to shape the country we live in today. Some of the impacts are well known, like the end of slavery. But other legacies of the war may surprise you. From the birth of modern medicine to the expansion of federal power, today we're exploring 5 unexpected ways the Civil War helped create the America we know today. Number 1. Federal power expansion during and after the Civil War. Before the Civil War, the debate over states' rights and federal authority was a hot-button issue. Many states viewed the federal union a legal construct that could be dissolved at will through an act of secession. Indeed, the secession of the 11 southern slave-holding states sparked the Civil War. But after the Union's victory, the balance of power shifted dramatically. The federal government established its supremacy over the states, especially in matters of civil rights and national infrastructure. The war also settled the secession argument. You see this today in everything from federal highways, environmental protection, and the Civil Rights Act, ensuring that states follow national standards in key areas. The war was the keystone for the strong central government that we recognize in the U.S. today. Number 2. Economic modernization and industrial growth. During the Civil War, the North's need for supplies, weapons, and transportation helped ignite the Industrial Revolution in America. Factories began to thrive, and railroads expanded to carry troops and resources across the country. The war also pushed for innovations in logistics, laying the foundation for America's future economic dominance. Without the Civil War's demands, it's hard to imagine the rapid industrial growth that would define the post-war era, turning America into an economic powerhouse by the late 19th century. Number 3. The birth of modern medicine and emergency care. Few people realize that many of our modern medical practices have their origins in the Civil War. With over 600,000 deaths, surgeons and nurses were forced to develop new ways to treat battlefield wounds quickly. The war saw the establishment of field hospitals, ambulance corps, a system of battlefield triage, and the widespread use of anesthesia. And, of course, Clara Barton, who served as a battlefield nurse, went on to found the American Red Cross. The Civil War's legacy can still be felt in the emergency medicine we use today. Number 4. Civil rights and the long fight for racial equality. While the Civil War officially ended slavery, it was just the beginning of America's long struggle for racial equality. The 13th Amendment abolished slavery, but the 14th and 15th Amendments, which granted citizenship and voting rights to African Americans, would become the foundation of future civil rights battles. The failures of Reconstruction and the rise of Jim Crow delayed progress for nearly a century, but the groundwork was laid by the Civil War and its aftermath. The fight for civil rights in the 1960s was a direct result of the failures of Reconstruction, showing how unfinished business from the Civil War still shapes modern society. Number 5. Veterans' benefits and memorial culture. The Civil War also sparked the first major push for veterans' benefits. With hundreds of thousands of soldiers returning wounded or disabled, the government set up a national pension system for veterans, and organizations like the Grand Army of the Republic lobbied for benefits. The battlefield dead were honored with the creation of national cemeteries, including Arlington, which remains one of the most iconic military cemeteries today. This era set the precedent for the veteran services we now offer through the Department of Veterans Affairs. Conclusion. The Civil War changed America in ways most of us never realize. From modern medicine to federal power and civil rights, the legacies of this conflict continue to shape the country we live in today. As we reflect on that history, it's clear that the Civil War was more than just a battle for the nation's soul. It was a blueprint for America's future. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more history content.